Okay, so today we're going to review characters and traits and evidence a little bit before going into our lesson. Anyone remember what a character is? Claire?
A person who's like the main in the story. She or he's telling the story.
Yep, they could be telling the story, but they don't necessarily have to just be the ones telling it. They could be anyone in the story, in a play, a movie, a book, right? How about trait? Who knows what a trait is? Dylan.
A word, like a feeling or something.
Yeah, so what you're talking about is an adjective. It's a describing word. So something that describes a person. Can someone give me an example? Natalie. Funny. Does anyone have another one? Lily? Cheerful. Julia?
Crazy.
Crazy. Dylan?
Active.
Active. Awesome. I'm so glad that you guys caught on with that. Okay, and what was the last thing that we learned? Does anyone remember that word? Claire?
Evidence.
Evidence. Excellent. Okay. And Dylan, what's evidence?
It tells you about something.
Yeah, so it tells you the reason why or how or proves something, right? So it's proving the truth and shows what that means, right? Okay. So we're going to leave this up today. And you also all brought your vocabulary list from yesterday, so that's wonderful. Okay. And just as a little refresher, we're going to go through Chicken Sunday through a picture walk. Just so you can remember, can anyone tell me the characters that were in Chicken Sunday? Claire. Patricia, that's one. Dylan? Who else?
Mr. and Mrs.
Mr. Kandinsky. Madeline?
Yes.
Close, you miss Eula. Yep. Okay.
Simon?
Not Simon, close. Does anyone remember the boy's name, little boy's name with the S? You're on the right track. Yep. Stuart, yeah. And there's one more. One more character. Madeline?
Wilson.
Close. It begins with a W. I know these names are tricky. What is it? Lily? Winston, yes. Okay. And do you remember what happened in the book? Can someone give me a quick little summary? Okay, Julia. We'll go through the pictures. Here, just use this. Do you have lined paper?
For Easter. Sure. And they were not gonna do it, but these other boys were trying to do it.
Yes.
And so they didn't believe them, but then they told the truth. And then
I love that you said that. They told the truth. And what's that an act of? What kind of trait can describe that, Claire?
it's sort of like kindness, sort of.
Kindness. Yeah, Lily?
Right?
Bravery. And that's what's going to take us into our next lesson today. So we're going to look at another story of bravery and somebody being brave. So what you have in front of you is called The Lion's Tale. I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. Okay. And you may follow along as I read it. In a small village, there lived a boy named called Leo. He was a small, slim kid, and he lived forever in fear because some boys from a neighboring village would harass poor Leo and try to have fun at his expense. One day, a young wizard was passing by the village and saw Leo being made fun of. When the other boys left, the wizard went over to Leo and gave him a beautiful lion's tail, along with a small tie that allowed Leo to hang the lion's tail from his belt. It's a magic tail. When the person's wearing it acts bravely, he or she will turn into a ferocious lion. Does anyone know what the word ferocious means? Dylan? Mean, angry, tough, right? You see how different adjectives and traits all work the same? So if someone's mean, they can be ferocious. See how that works? Having seen the young wizard's powers some days earlier, during his act, Leo didn't doubt his words. And from that time on, he wore a lion's tail hanging from his belt, hoping that the horrible kids would turn up so he could teach them a good lesson. But when the boys came along, Leo was scared, and he tried to run away. However, they soon caught up and surrounded him. The usual jokes and pushing started. Then Leo felt the lion still hanging from his belt. Then, summoning up all his courage, Leo tensed his body, made 2 fists, and looked up fixedly in the eyes at each of the boys. And with all the calmness and ferocity in the world, he promised that if he didn't leave them alone at that instant, one of them, even if it were only one, would regret it forever. Today, tomorrow, and any other day. He kept looking them in the eye with his hardest expression, ready to do what he had promised. Leo felt goosebumps all over. This must be a sign he was turning into a lion, because the looks of the boys' faces were definitely changing. They all took a step back, looked at each other, and finally ran off. Leo wanted to take off after them and give him a good beating with his new body, but when he tried to move, he felt his legs were short and just normal, so he had to abandon the idea. Not far off, the wizard observed smiling. He ran over to Leo. Leo was very happy, though a bit disappointed with his new lion body. It had only lasted a short time, and he hadn't managed to fight them. You wouldn't have been able to anyway, the wizard told him. No one fights with lions because simply from seeing them and knowing how brave and ferocious they are, everyone runs away. Have you ever seen a lion fighting? It was true. Leo couldn't remember ever having seen a lion fighting. Leo became filled with thought, looking at the lion's tail, and he understood everything. There was no magic, no transformation, no nothing. Does anyone know what a transformation is? Madeline? Yes, exactly. What happened was a good friend had shown him that bullies and other cowardly animals never dared to confront a true brave boy. Okay. So does everyone understand that he didn't really turn into a lion? He just acted brave? So now we're going to talk about Leo, because Leo's the main character of the story.
And I didn't see you, and then we had a fire drill.
We're going to brainstorm some character traits to describe Leo. Can you tell me a little bit about Leo? Julia? He's scared. When did he act scared? In the beginning. Can anyone tell me? Yeah.
Brave.
Brave. He acted brave. Madeline. Oh wait, really quick, Claire, when did he act brave?
He acted brave in the end.
In the end. Okay. So what about in the middle? Does anyone know how he acted in the middle? Dylan, do you know how he acted?
Happy
Why was he happy?
because he had the lion tail and
Happy?
he couldn't wait until the boys came so he can teach them a lesson.
Right. What else? Was he sure if that lion tail was going to work? Yeah? Lily, what do you think? No? So what's a word that could describe someone that's unsure?
I'm just going to call for you. Mrs. Burns is doing really well this year.
You think when you don't understand something, what are you? Claire?
Positive.
You could be positive, but it's more when you don't understand.
Confused.
Confused. Can everyone say that word?
Confused.
Confused. So when was he confused, Dylan?
When in the middle,
In the middle? What was he confused about? Madeline? The tail. Why was he confused about the tail, Lily?
Because he wasn't sure if it was going to work or if it wasn't.
Yes, if it was going to work or if it wasn't. So these are some great traits. Can anyone think of one more? Look at the list in front of you, too. If you're having trouble figuring out, there's a whole list of words you could use. Right? So, what was he when he was talking to the boys? What was he when he stood up for himself?
Brave.
He was brave. But what's another word for brave? Brave is under this category. I'll give you a hint. Okay, second page. You see what the brave what's under that category for brave is? See what brave is? Dylan, what is it?
Fearless.
He's fearless. Good job. And what's another word for fearless? What else could he have been? Madeline? What else could he have been? Courageous, yes. Courageous. Very good. Dylan.
Assertive.
Assertive. I'm loving these words. Okay, we have a great list there. Now we're going to move on to the activity. So you can put those character traits and the story to the side. Set this one over here. Actually, Ms. Sharver's going to put this right here so that you all can see it, okay? To refer back to.
I changed it to 115, 145.
Took my story.
Oh, I took your story? I'm sorry. Yeah, here you go.
Okay. I'm sorry, is that a problem?
Okay. And we're going to have Chicken Sunday right here for you guys to use. So I need a person to be the writer. Who wants to be the writer? I saw Madeline's hand go up first, and then we'll take a turn, okay? And everyone can take a turn. So we're going to work as a team to answer these questions, okay? So the first question is, what are the characters' names? What traits describe all of the characters is the second question. The third question is, what do the characters do in the stories? The fourth question is, how are the characters brave? And the fifth question is, how are the characters in the stories similar or different? Has anyone ever done this before with stories? No. So you know what we're going to do is we're going to compare both stories. Does everyone know what compare means? Madeline?
It means
So this word doesn't start with
that
C.
two stories are the same or different.
Yes. So compare and contrast, right? Compare is similar and contrast means different. So that's what we're going to do today. Sharpie's just going to try to put the video over.